I read your emails, especially the job posting emails. I know how hard it is to get a job as a Scrum Master with all these red flags, companies posting job ads with wrong descriptions, so many red flags, so many things that they put in the job ads that have nothing to do with the role of a Scrum Master. And today I want to talk about one of these red flags. Seeing a job posting where a company is looking for a single person doing both the Scrum Master and the Product Owner role at the same time. Looks insane, but quite common. You watching might even be doing these two roles at the same time at the current company you're working with. But don't worry, your coach is here. I'm here to answer the question, can a Scrum Master and a Product Owner be the same person? Well, let's start with why. Why are companies even looking for a single person to do two roles? Well, the obvious answer would be to cut costs. Companies are always looking for ways to cut costs. And why wouldn't they be doing that in a Scrum team? And to make matters worse, some companies even insist on using Scrum, having Scrum teams without someone doing the Scrum Master role. I've talked with many senior people, middle management, upper management in many companies, and the most common things I hear about the Scrum Master role is that it's useless, completely useless. They don't believe that this role is useful. The development team already know how to schedule meetings, invite people. Why do we need a high-paid assistant? Nobody needs daily therapy. We are all adults. Such statement can only emerge in companies where people in the company, usually upper management, senior people in the company, don't understand what is Scrum, even maybe what is Agile. Therefore, they decide to initially save a little bit of money by not hiring a Scrum Master, which will come at a high cost later on because the team might never reach their full potential. But that's not common. Most companies know that when you're using Scrum, you need to have someone doing the Scrum Master role. And if these companies want to still cut costs, they have a single person doing both the Scrum Master or the Product Owner role. Or even the development team doing the Scrum Master role, a shared responsibility between the developers. But that's for another video. Scrum is simple to understand, but very hard to master. We all know that. And I think that we often make it more complex than it should be. For example, the roles in Scrum are pretty straightforward. The product owner, the value maximizer, defines which problems are worth solving. The development team builds products and services autonomously. They master the art of implementing solutions right. The Scrum Master of Agile and Scrum Evangelist ensures that the principles and values are lived. On paper, it's clear how the roles are structured and assigned to provide clear separation between these roles, and there's a reason for all that. Let's take the Product Owner and the Scrum Master roles as example. The separate roles and responsibilities create a tension between the two. The role of a product owner is to prioritize work and direct the team to focus on completing the sprint goal. On the other hand, the Scrum Master facilitates self-organization within the team and protects them from interference. If the product owner and the Scrum Master were the same person, it's very likely that the product owner role would dominate in this person. Very likely, but not always the case. You see, the product owner serves the interests of the customer, while the Scrum Master serves the team. And there's the tension between both the client expectation from the product owner and the technical feasibility from the development team and the Scrum Master. And if one of these people dominate the product owner, well, the team will always lose. The client will always win, which should be the case because we are at the end of the day working with a client. But there's some problems with that. We will start building things. The product owner will start pushing things that are not technically feasible, pushing deadlines, maybe blocking or preventing the development team from choosing how to build something. Let's go even deeper in this problem. Two scenarios here. First, the Scrum Master acting as a product owner, the most common example when a single person does both roles at the same time. Basically, the Scrum Master wearing the hat of a product owner. When the Scrum Master and the product owner are the same person, it's very easy to miss out on the vision of a product. Miss out on a clear roadmap for the product, resulting in delivering or developing low quality, low value products and services. And this might be the case because the Scrum Master wouldn't have customer access, as much customer access as a product owner would have, or as much vision for a product or understanding of a market as a product owner would have. Maybe the Scrum Master is just looking at the backlog and creating stuff in the backlog that the Scrum Master believes the customer will use, without talking to customers, without doing surveys, without getting feedback from customers. Because the Scrum Master is busy. The Scrum Master is doing their role at the same time. 2 roles, single person, but 2 full-time roles being done by a single person. Obviously, it's hard. You need to do something. Maybe the Scrum Master will focus on the Scrum Master job. And as a result, the customer will pay the price because the customer will get low-value products and services. Scenario 2. The product owner acting as a Scrum Master. I like this scenario. This scenario is entertaining. The Scrum process will take a hit in this scenario. Unfortunately, the team will also take a hit. Let's start with the Scrum process. Ceremonies, events will slowly fade away, starting with a sprint retrospective, which most probably a busy product owner will feel that the sprint retro is irrelevant, a waste of time. Then other events will slowly be impacted also, maybe not completely disappear as the sprint retrospective, but let's take an example of a daily scrum. The daily scrum is an important event and it's a place to manage work and not manage people. When the product owner will act as a Scrum Master, most probably the daily scrum will be a status meeting where other members of a development team or anyone else in the team will just report status to a product owner. In the sprint planning, the sprint planning will be dominated by this person, the product owner acting as a Scrum Master. Maybe the team won't have any choice, any decision-making power. Nothing will be decided by the team. The product owner will decide what to build and how to build it and by when to build it, setting deadlines on the team. The team will have zero self-management or self-organization. The product owner will choose everything. All these problems are nothing compared to the one I'm about to mention. You see, the Scrum Master coaches people inside and outside the team. It's a full-time role. Tons of responsibilities and things to do. This person coaches people inside and outside the team to not only understand Scrum, but also use it. The Scrum Master also coaches the product owner, so that the product owner can realize that we need to focus on the vision, on the sprint goal, on maximizing value, ensuring that there's always a direction for each sprint, coaching the product owner on how to handle, manage stakeholders, setting deadlines, pushing the team, coach the product owner on how to handle these situations. The problem is that when a single person does these 2 roles at the same time, well, the person can't solve problems, but the person can see. That's why people have coaches. But if I had to pick one in one of these scenarios, first one or second one, I would pick the second one, the product owner acting also as a Scrum Master, assuming that the product owner has a good background and understanding and experience in Scrum and Agile. With this, the product owner will understand first that all these ceremonies, all these processes need to stay in place, shouldn't fade away. If that's the case, if all these things are true, the scenario 2 makes more sense than the scenario 1, simply because at the end of the day, maximizing value, that's the important thing. But unfortunately, the team would pay the price. The Scrum process would pay the price. But a simple way to handle this situation maybe a little bit better is to hire one or multiple Agile coaches. If you have multiple Scrum teams, hire multiple Agile coaches who support these Scrum teams. Not a single Agile coach supporting a single Scrum team, no. Agile coaches supporting multiple Scrum teams. A light touch on these Scrum teams just to ensure that the product owner acting as a Scrum Master really gets coached by this Agile coach, really ensures that this product owner reflects on the Scrum process, reflects on what's happening with the team. And I feel that it would really help this product owner do these two roles at the same time. Which brings me to my next point. If you want more tips, insights on Agile Scrum personal growth, click on the video that stands out the most on the screen right now, and I'll see you in a few seconds.